So that is my 15 things to do in fall. Hey, it's SJ. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another YouTober episode. YouTober is where I share with all of you just all the fall cozy things in this little corner of the internet that I have. Something about fall, it's just my favorite season of the year. And so this year I am trying to upload every single day. We will see how I do, but that is the goal. So today is gonna be my fall bucket list. I love. And no other season do I have like a full bucket list, but for fall I do. And I think it's because one of the reasons why I love fall so much is because the things that you do for fall are just so wholesome. So take summer, for example. You can go to the lake, but you need to coordinate and it can get expensive. If you want to go to the beach, it can get kind of expensive. If you want to go to, I don't know, the Hamptons, that's definitely expensive. But with fall, the activities are just a little bit more easier to do. They're wholesome, they're smaller in logistics, and that's just I think what makes it so amazing. And so today I'm going to be sharing with all of you what I have on my fall bucket list, and I don't know if I'm going to get through with all of these, but it's my goal. But before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here so you can watch the rest of my YouTuber videos. Alrighty, so I have 15 things outlined for a ideal fall bucket list for this year. The first one, which is my favorite thing to do, is go apple picking. I love to go apple picking. I went apple picking every single year except maybe for the year that I lived in New York City, because that year it just wasn't going to happen. There are no apple orchards nearby the city. But other than that, I've always went apple picking and I love it. There's just something about picking your own apples that just make it taste so much better. And then from there, I always like to make apple cider, or I do different things with the apple. I live in Virginia, so there are a couple different apple orchards in the area. I went to 2 last year. One of them allowed me to pick my own apples and the other one didn't because of COVID. So I'm hoping this year I can pick my own apples again. We shall see. Number 2 is going to a pumpkin patch. I love pumpkin patches. I think they're so great for like a photo shoot. I love taking photos. So that's just my thing because I'm a photographer on the side. Unlike apple picking, I do not actually like to cut my own pumpkin. It's really aggressive. They have like really thick vines. So I do like to go to a pumpkin patch to visit, but I do pick ones that are already pre-cut just because it's easier, and then carve pumpkins. Next is making a homemade PSL, or a pumpkin cream cold brew. So I used to be a big PSL person. I still like PSLs, but I definitely think I have converted to the pumpkin cream cold brew. Freaking love that drink. I will get it anytime I go to Starbucks. However, I do not like paying $5 for coffee. If you watch the other videos on my channel, I am very financially responsible, or at least try to be, and $5 for coffee. I'm not one of those people that's like, don't ever go to Starbucks. I do, but I also prefer to just make my own coffee at home because I do drink a lot of coffee. So there are a ton of good recipes that I found on TikTok, and I'm going to be trying them out this year. So if I find any that pass the test, I will be sure to share them with you guys because sharing is caring. Next is reading fall books. So I loved reading as a child, and I kind of got away from it as I got older, and I think a lot of that had to do with just being busy, and I've really made an effort to read more this year. I read a few books over the summer, and I'm still currently reading one, but I took some time to really think about what books I wanted to read this fall and curated a list of 6 books that I'm really excited about, and I am going to be sharing my book list on this channel, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, like I am a fast reader. I just don't exactly have all the time in the world to read. So if I'm going to take time to read, I want it to really be a book that I can get lost in and like love. But there's nothing like sitting on a windowsill and reading a book when it's raining outside and kind of gloomy weather. It's just all the fall vibes. Next is to watch fall movies. Y'all, I love a good fall movie. I don't want like scary movies, things with like exorcisms and stuff like that, things that are going to scare me. I'm not a big fan of. I don't mind a good thriller to get a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but nothing too crazy. But I love the warm fall-esque feel, autumnal feel of a good fall movie. So I'm also going to be sharing my movie list, so stay tuned for that as well. I'm going to be sharing my fall movies and my fall shows that I will be watching, and even if I'm not actively watching them, I will have them in the background. I'm always playing something fall on my TV at all times. Even like right now, I have like a fall ambiance on my TV. Next, I have baking. And that includes pumpkin bread, pumpkin cookies, like anything that you can think of. The holiday season so it really starts in fall and then it continues into the holiday. I just really started baking more, which is unfortunate in the aspect that my boyfriend actually doesn't like eating a lot of sweet things, but yet I love baking them, so then I end up eating them. So I think I'm gonna have to start giving them away to people or something, since we're not really going into the office right now, because I just love to bake. I love to bake so much when it gets colder, and I just think it's fun and, I don't know, festive and stuff. So anyway, it's gonna be baking pumpkin bread for sure, but we'll see what other things that I will come up with. Next is to go to a corn maze. I love a good corn maze, especially if I can legitimately get lost in it. I went to one last year that was a pretty good time, but I kind of want to see if I can go to one when it's a little bit darker outside. The one I went to last year was like very bright, and I feel like it would have more of a cozy feeling if it was a little bit darker. Next, I want to go on a haunted tour. I've actually never been on a haunted tour, which is crazy because I feel like that's such a staple for a fall to-do list. But yeah, I've never been, but I want to go, so I will keep you guys updated if that happens. I'll be probably posting that on Instagram. Next is to go on a fall hike. So I do live in Virginia. The Shenandoah Mountains are nearby. And I think there's just probably a lot of really good trails that I can find that have beautiful scenery of the changing colors. One of these days, I really want to go to Vermont and see the changing colors. I think Vermont would be beautiful foliage, but this year it's not happening. But I do want to go on a fall hike and just get some beautiful photos of the changing colors. Next is to go on a fall picnic. Now, fall picnics to me, I've never actually done a fall picnic. I've always done like summer or spring picnics. But for a fall picnic, I have like a fancy bougie picnic basket that I'm gonna bring. But I also envision having like the camping cups and filling that with maybe hot chocolate or hot cider back of my Jeep, instead of actually laying out a blanket and having like an overview. Just, these are things that I envision when I think of a fall picnic, and I really want to try it this year. And I'll put some like scenery shots if I can find them of like what's inspiring me to do this activity. But I think it'd be like a really nice little day thing to do. Next is a shop for fall candles. Bath & Body Works does not play when it comes to fall candles. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna do a candle haul, which I haven't done hauls in so long because, once again, trying to be financially responsible, but I'm telling you, BBW candles really just hits a soft spot for me. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I actually used to work at Bath & Body Works, and I actually used to work in the candle department. And so I just love fall candles, and I am just really excited to go buy a bunch and just make my whole house smell amazing. And I'm so excited. Next is going to a drive-in theater. Now, I did do this last year. There's one about an hour away from where I live. I watched The Tenant, but I actually didn't pay attention to the movie because I wasn't really into it. Nobody come at me if you really like The Tenant. I had just started dating my boyfriend at the time, and that was actually the day that he asked me to officially be exclusive with him. So I don't know, there was just a lot more things going on in my head than actually paying attention to the movie. But I love the way the whole date played out because I brought bagged popcorn, I brought glass bottle Cokes, and it was just really reminiscent of a different time to be able to go to a drive-in theater. So I want to do that again this year. I think that'd be really fun to do. Next, I would like to go to a fall fair. now, when I lived in Kansas, I went to one that was there, and it was really cute. They had like a lot of the things that I've already mentioned kind of like grouped together, and I really enjoyed it. And I think going to one in the evening is kind of nice. We will see. I have not found one in Virginia yet. I'm sure there is one, but with COVID and me living so close to DC, things are still kind of not really fully open. So we'll see if one comes up this year. If there is one, I will. Whoops. I kind of moved my camera. If there is one, I am willing to travel to go to it. Next is to go on a scenic drive. I think I could probably check this one off with the fall picnic, or I could probably check this one off when I go on a hike, maybe kill two birds with one stone, but I want to just have a beautiful drive. I found one last year when I was going to an apple orchard. There was a beautiful drive that I have not forgotten to this day, and I don't remember the drive, and it makes me so upset. So if I can find a nice scenic route in the fall foliage, I totally plan on doing that. And my last, but certainly not least, is making pumpkin soup. I don't know why I saved this one to the end. But I've never made pumpkin soup before. I do a lot of baking, and I don't really like consume a lot of soup. I don't know why. It's just never been my go-to. It never really seems to fill me up. But this year, I know my boyfriend has kind of mentioned soups, and I do have a Vitamix, so I'm going to try to make a pumpkin soup this year. And yeah, just add that to my recipe book of things that I cook. So that is my 15 things to do in fall, my bucket list for fall. I am pumped to start knocking them all out. I am very intentional with my activities in the fall, and as you guys can probably tell, and so I'm just really excited to do it. Especially after like the crazy year that we've had, guys. Like, I'm just really excited to do things that bring like little pockets of joy. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you are doing things this fall and you know it and it's like on your bucket list, let me know in the comments below, because I am going to be happy to add more things to my bucket list. So I'm always looking for new ideas. But that's about it, guys, for today's video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next YouTober video. Bye.